Y'all out here, son? I gotta jump in, man. We over here on some old, getting the hood back. The heavenly hoods and shit. They stole our information, our information. Make sure the mic's working. Yeah, so y'all see the title. We're talking about first and second resurrection. Y'all probably like, yo, God, buddy, what the hell? What is first and second resurrection? Well, it's what the false prophets should have taught us back then. I'm talking about in the early 1930s, 100 years ago, basically. They should have been telling us about these things, the science of reality, of life and death. First of all, when they're telling us about what God is and who God is, and knowing damn well the first question somebody's going to ask is going to be about, well, what's going on with death? Because that happens, nigga. We know that happens. And some people feel like they can continue to do it. Cause it. And so what does the Creator say about that and why? Because, a lot of things were abrogated from books. And if they were abrogated from a book that was already written, or certain books that were written, that means things that were taken out and changed up, then that means that it had a source where there were a foundation of such stories and how everything leads up into a world. So first and second resurrection, man. First off, peace to the gods, peace to the aboriginals of all the lands, of all the worlds, and of the world that we're on now. Because of the certain science that we're pretty much dropping, it's dealing with the etheric realms, So yeah, man, the first and second resurrection upon death, y'all see that. It's like, this is why it's important to not murder. We're getting to a point where we're dealing with a Star Trek type of world where everyone's starting to be civil and learning to use their morale and virtue as far as bettering their own self and their being. If they only believe that this was just a fleshly life, then they'll probably just stay in this existence or whatnot, But if they believe that this was that there was more and there's a spirit or a light body, then they will continue to cultivate their virtue and their nobility, and their happiness, that'll come along with it. The joy, the peace, and the love, all that comes with it. Love is the hell you got to go through to come up with the understanding, The certain hells you got to go through to make you hella strong. Most High put the chosen ones through it, and not saying that it's the chosen ones, but yeah, there is ones that are prepared by the construct of the Creator within the creation. And then you have gods who just, map out what the Creator does and just find these type of people, the wives or the mothers of these children, and link them together with the fathers just to make these type of children, They tap into how the Creator does it. It's like a pattern. And then false gods try to do the same thing, but they do it null and void. That's why they only were able to rule for a certain time. And when they rule, it's just for the strength and the spirit and the soul to bring it on, to graduate off of the earth plane. Well, I'm talking about when it's wicked rule, nobody's really happy. So it just gets the ones that's being ruled over stronger spiritually. And then they go to, the higher upper rooms. But if the upper rooms are taken over, because that happens within the construct, worlds are invaded, and there's parasites that come in and they drain the life forces of beings, they cause death real fast, and then they get these spirits and capture them. They take away the method of the Most High, which the Most High does it through his high exalted angels, who comes and takes the angels. It's a whole method. Who takes your spirits and places them to a certain place, and you continue learning on with your gifts and your skills and your talents that you got on earth, But being that when you have false gods and rules for thousands of years, 6,000 or more years, it's a lot of things that go on. And being that this is one of the last parts of the rules, meaning that we're in the iron age of certain things, you can see that with the architecture. It's a lot of things that's going on. You can see what type of heaven these beings are on, or which resurrection that they're on while living in the physical plane. They're like, what did you mean by what resurrection you on living in the physical plane? The resurrection, is that while you're awake, you actually reflect the type of existence that you live in your spirit realm. If you're having a lot of nightmares and shit, you're eating a lot of different parasitic foods because they made that for you to eat these parasitic foods, so you can so you won't be able to question the reality that they give you, the curriculum that they place in front of your face. You won't be able to question it. they already revealed to you they got these certain dyes in the foods, and what these dyes do is have millions and even trillions, even decillions, man. That's a lot of that's a lot of zeros after a number of just parasites that's meant to turn your whole chemistry against you. Your chemistry is chem, meaning black, and stri is study. So your black is just your essence. It's not like a whole little where we got the essence of things. Nah, this is like real life, you know, dealing with melanin. Melanin is very important. It's a gift from the creator. You know, everyone on earth has it, and those who have a lack of it, and it's not to say that, you know, that they're just horrible beings, but they manifest certain things through inspired by lower angels. They could be inspired by higher angels too, but that's like a phenomenon that needs to happen. But as right now, things are starting to change up because everybody's starting to be held accountable for what their actions are, starting to see what the truth is, and they're starting to see who the people of Amaru is and things of that nature. And this goes back to the first and second resurrections, which is all over the world. Now, these resurrections that's all over the world, they're all over all the different all over the different countries, and each country has like a actual heaven over it. But when these beings ransack this realm, they take over these heavens, just like the Etherians do when the now cipher, which is a wrong or parasitic entity, life forms, take over a plane or existence. They try to, you know, take advantage of the development of the species or the people that's living in that plane, on that world right there. When I say world, we're talking about a plane like this or a horizon. We're not going to get nothing twisted. No curve horizon or omnihorizon or nothing like that. If anything, the life is within inside of an egg, you know. So let's not get you know, confuse what actual reality is, you know what I'm saying, as we're seeing it in the physical, because there's metaphysicals and then there's quantum insignias and there's quantum singularities and things of that nature. But the way they give it to you in their curriculum, you'll never be able to understand the universe. And what they did was steal it from the original aboriginals, and they gave it back and regurgitated it back to the people. And so, yeah, we're just going to build upon the death and the first and second resurrections, and I'm gonna get into it to back it up with other books, just so we can put the pieces together. Because you're not gonna really, you know, you're gonna have to tap into your spirit also and just be more noble. You know, that already alone can help get you past the first resurrection. The first resurrection is a real dangerous resurrection because that's where everybody's at, really. That's like when you got all the life forms and shit from everywhere, and they just going to and fro within the construct of the creator, within the different worlds. Everywhere has its firmament, its dome. So they're on the first resurrection, the first plane. There's cities and everything on that shit. And it's right on the earth plane. These are the ones who are able to inspire mortals to do horrible ass shit. And some of these beings come in as like a gang. Hence they talk about the Anunnaki or the custodians. The custodians is pretty new. But the Dracos, you hear about them, and the Greys, you hear about them, and you hear about the reptilians. The reptilians get a bad name. You know, there's reptilians too, you know, and also the Dracos, the dragons. You know, these beings, they just want to sit back and chill. And a lot of them, they live on second resurrection on their planet. Some of them have the graduation process where they can unite with the Etherians and they're not falling from the etheric realms. And a lot of them, they can't go back, like the Greys. And you got a lot of sci-fi shows that talk about this, like Stargate SG-1 talks about, you know, the Greys dealing with but their name in the SG-1 was what was their name? The Asgard. It was called the Asgard Command. You know what I mean? So, and then the leader of them was Thor. I mean, it was a little bitty gray dude. And so basically, just to give you understanding, to operate those stargates, you had to be within the first and second resurrection. To get further outside of the galaxy, they had a stargate that was like so far that the ancients put together. You had to like find this shit to put this shit together to teleport you to a far distant galaxy, and only the Etherians can do that. And so, you know, of course, this is sci-fi. They're gonna make it seem like the humans did it, and you know, stuff like that. And but human is basically just your aura. You know, you're getting measured off of your aura and your vibration. So that's the hue of man, really. We're not really talking about the skin no more. They just threw us off on the skin, really, to kind of get us to play around with that whole little, you know, big eye, little you type shit when it comes to that. But it's really the melanin. Everyone was supposedly be from when you're from the creator and you're aboriginal, you were gifted with melanin. That melanin molecule is an intelligent molecule. Basically, all you have to do is feed it, and it can feed the rest of the cells in the body damn near for a long time. Long enough for you to not even have to eat food that much and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's really intelligent. They talk about it in Star Trek too, calling it the Omega molecule. Star Trek is basically the Etherians going to and fro the first and second resurrections of different worlds, making sure that these false angels or false gods don't rule the mortal until extinction. You know, and in certain worlds that shit happen. Like certain worlds like Mars, it will say. You know, that happened over there, this world of the clones. They have a lot of different worlds within our little membrane of 178 known worlds that they would want to reveal to us right now. But they know it's more, and Nagas already knew this type shit, you know. Nagas already been through it. The Nagas from America, there was a war that went down. And all this stuff takes place in the heavens on the first and second resurrections first. To take over a world, you have to take over the second resurrection first. You ain't hear nobody talking like this. They should all have been, but they didn't get to this point, you know. You know, this is for the tribe, you know. And for the light bodies, for everybody to pretty much add on. They're like, damn, because we're finding out about the Tatari structures and shit. You know, we're finding out, you know, and we're not really talking about the star forts that's all over the world. That predates the Tatari structures. You know, it's like, damn, what happened in that time frame? Ain't that right, Dougie Doves? They're over there just chilling and shit. But what happened in that time frame, you know? Why we have a star fort? Why we have, like, things that were set up where it's like a force field could come out. That's dealing with Stargate Atlantis. You know, they can go to a whole nother galaxy. And when they went to another galaxy, in that galaxy, they had to deal with someone called the Wraith. And the Wraith was like some evil motherfuckers, man. Looked like Marilyn Manson and shit. Times 10 type stuff. You know what I'm saying? They ate through your heart. You know, but there was a parasitic species. So anyhow, though, but it all comes together, you know. So to infiltrate a world, you have to go from first and second resurrections. The first and second resurrection, the third resurrection is where true God resides at on each world. That's like the top or the North Star on each world. Each world has a North Star, you know, and so the North Star is pretty much where the third resurrection is at, where God, where the Most High and His company is maintaining and is getting ready to graduate so they can go out into Etheria and they become light travelers and boom, 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 and studying the Most High creations for eons and eons and eons. But see, they're stopping you from doing that shit by putting all the earthly shit to get you to market to your earthly desires, and then to your afterlife is just on some earthly picturing type of things. They don't want you to know that you're etheric. And like, what the fuck is etheric? You want to know that, right? You know what I'm saying? But they keep on appealing to your earthly senses, which is pretty much how they're gonna capture you, or they're striving to capture the spirits upon death to go into their lower heavens in the first and second resurrections, and try to avoid the capture from the galactic star fleet. Marshals that's coming for their ass, you know what I mean? So it's all happening. They got it all in the sci-fi, man. So the first and second resurrections, these are where your false gods rule at. It's a whole bunch of them. Within the first and second ones, there's like 1,500 plus, but now it's starting to wind on down. And being that it's winding down the way it is, you know, a lot of anarchy, a lot of things is coming to the forefront. The truth is coming out. A lot of spirits is fighting for this truth. There's a lot of things going on, man. You know what I mean? You all you have to do is fight for yourself. Fight for your natural being. So when you got everything going and cracking right and exact on the planet, you have your Ashars and your Asgard, you have your Ashars and your Asgard, your Astars, and it just pretty much, it's a whole civilization that connects with their spirit, you know, with their ancestors in the upper rooms, which is, you know, basically heaven, you know, and that's how we had it. But however, now it's been, you know, so to get back into believing, or to get into your true natural faith, you have to get back in tune with your exact diets. And to get these parasites up out you, man, you got to deworm. That's what they do in the tropics and shit. Well, they don't do it no more, but they used to do it. But it's time to deworm, y'all. You know what I mean? Get these detox, get all this shit up out you, so you can start listening and thinking for yourself again, and coming up out of that spell, because that's what they want to keep you in, and they want to, you know, rule you through the fear and dropping bombs on motherfuckers and shit. I know. And they hate motherfuckers when you're just living your natural life, because you go against their agenda of control and taking over and shit, you know, and that's what you don't need to submit to. So yeah, with that being said, I love y'all, and whoever joined in, peace and blessings. You know how they is. They jump in. They try to break up the stream, but Most High allowed it to get it out. So for those who's for, that's what it's for. It's at the top. It's like a triangle and shit. That's where the true God is sitting at. So you only him and a few other mother jumpers up there. Whereas in the lower heavens and the lower resurrections and the pyramid, it's a lot of mugs down still at the resurrection at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's when you're dealing with different life forms. And that's when you're dealing with sci-fi channels and you see all these different species in these cities and shit like that. That's the first resurrection. That's what's going on. So Most High is striving to get you to bypass that. And, raise up to third resurrection with true God where you belong at. That's the duty. So to get this information out, that's just what it is. All right, I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be with you next one. Peace. Boom, doo, 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 doo. Doo, 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 doo. Doo, 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 doo.